What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, guys, I just wanted to take a moment to reflect on why modern format might seem even more difficult after the new terms of service, which has obviously we got rid of bots, but this now should include any type of battle helpers, even though battle helpers are not necessarily named by actual name or by that term. Now, here's the thing. At the end of the day, right, we know that XBot has turned their battle helper off, at least to the public. And we're assuming that some of the other, private battle helpers out there are abiding by the terms of service. So what does that mean? Well, it means that a lot of players who probably had fantastic cards and were using battle helper or were using, bots previously are probably now having to rely on the skill. And if their skill level is not as good as that of, a perfect AI, which is kind of what the bots are if you have a full deck, right? Meaning that you have Max Rift Watchers, Untamed, Chaos Legion, and Dice, it can pull from pretty much everything at that point, right? So if you're having to rely on human skills, human error, what I have actually seen, and unfortunately my history is now kind of blocked up with a bunch of tournament battles, but I've been running into way more Kitty and Jotun and some of these higher level Untamed cards in low diamond, right? So diamond 3 or low diamond 2. I've never seen them there before. Usually I get my butt kicked by maxed out Chaos and Riftwatcher cards, of which I don't have maxed out decks. But I'm running into a lot of these other accounts now, which, I don't want to name anybody by name, but it's interesting to see kind of the leveling of the playing field. So again, if we are to assume that most players are abiding by this terms of service, we're probably still going to see a shifting of the landscape until we get to a new equilibrium where the people's skills match whatever, the people's skills plus their deck quality will match wherever they're supposed to go, right? Whereas before, if they were using Battle Helper or bots, they would be able to just probably rise all the way to the top because they had the best and most complete collection. So in a way, it's gotten more difficult for me. I'm kind of just treading water here in low diamond. I made it up to diamond 2, but I'm even struggling there. So that's kind of what I've seen. That's my going theory on where things are at. And keep in mind, at this point, we're only about 3 days out, at least of the recording of this video. We're only about 3 days out of the new terms of service taking effect. So there's still going to be a lot of people either winning a lot more or losing a lot more. And like I said, my guess would be that people who are probably up in the higher leagues that were just Battle Helper or using Battle Helper or some kind of bots. And I know bots were probably from further back, but people who are using Battle Helper are now finding where their skill level matches the rest of the ecosystem or the rest of the kind of gameplay landscape. So, again, it's been more difficult. It's actually been quite frustrating, which I was surprised at first. There were other people out there who were reporting that it was significantly easier. And my guess is that they were probably in a place where maybe they do have like a maxed out deck and they were playing at the top of diamond or up in champion and started to see a lot of the other players move down, essentially getting easier wins because it's not just Battle Helper versus Battle Helper anymore. The players who actually, understand the game, understand the meta, or have their own private Battle Helper, but we won't go in there, their own spreadsheets, right? They're able to go in and start dominating the game, which is, essentially what we wanted, right? This should be, as Aggie says, proof of skill. So moving forward, I think once this will probably take like a week, maybe 2 to kind of get through. I would say probably by the end of the season. So, maybe 10 days or so after we get to the end of, 10 days after the terms of service were implemented, we'll probably see where everybody kind of ends up. But ultimately, I'm curious to know what has been your experience so far within the game over the last 3 days, right? With this terms of service change, with the battle helpers, specifically XBot, the most popular public one being shut off. I'm curious to know how people are faring, what you're seeing. Do you agree with my thesis? Do you disagree with it? Again, it's been more difficult for me. It's not like my win rate shot up at all. In fact, I'm struggling now. But my hope is that once people kind of settle out, things towards the end of the season will start to normalize for me. I'll be able to start getting some more wins over in Diamond. But that is all I have for you guys in this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'll catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.